got to be aware of the inbounder here if you're Philly.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Coming to LA. No, not the Lakers, but to the Clippers on a 4-year max deal. Friday night, the Clippers also made a huge power play with a trade to acquire Paul George. The Clips surrendered up a ton of assets, though, including 5 first-round picks. But they did get 2 superstars in the process.
Talk to us.
Prices just went up.
Don't talk to us. Don't talk to us.
Oh, looks like my boy is coming with me to LA. Where we going, cuz?
We coming home.
We coming home, cuz.
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard.
This was, I don't know if you was here and you felt the earthquake, but I was happy to be right smack dab in the middle, and I felt that 7-0. But when this guy swung that hammer and it struck the earth, that was about a 10.
Man, oh man, the Clippers curse still brewing, still going stronger than it ever has. But going back more in time, when Kawhi Leonard, when he first arrived in the Clippers, as well as Paul George, at the time, this was a blockbuster move. Nobody knew what Kawhi Leonard especially was going to do, and he pulled this off. Him and Paul George teaming up, creating one of the most dynamic duos that we've seen in recent NBA history. But unfortunately, as we've seen, things did not turn out the way it should have. When we're looking at the Clippers now today, we see them as a team that has so much potential on paper, because when you look at their roster each and every single year, it's loaded, has great talent. Many great players are on this team that have a chance to do something great. But what happens? Either Paul George or Kawhi Leonard both miss out time with injuries. And in the 328 games, which has been the last 4 seasons that these guys have played, Kawhi Leonard himself has only played in 229 of those games, while Paul George, on the other hand, has played in just 263. But looking at the playoffs for Kawhi Leonard, he's only played in the last 2 years a total of just 4 games. The injury bug has really been the biggest flaw for Kawhi Leonard. Not just him, but for Paul George as well on this Clippers team. And this year, they had all of the potential. If you remember, the Clippers at the beginning of this season started off this season very strong. And when they traded and they acquired James Harden, there was a few hiccups along the way, but things got better and better and better, to the point where we were already considering this team the best team in basketball. They were in that conversation earlier on in the regular season. Then towards the end of the year, they kind of got off to a bad ending, not really playing the best. I believe they won 25 games and lost 26 during that last stretch, finishing out the NBA season. But that's not really the only dilemma for this Clippers team. As we all know, these guys are getting older. Kawhi Leonard is 32 years old, and he signed on this team until 2027. And granted, we don't know how good Kawhi can still be at a high level, but getting older and older and older, naturally, as it goes, unless you're LeBron James, you're not going to be as great as you once were in the past. Same for Paul George. He's 33 years old. Harden is 34, and Westbrook is 35 years old. These guys aren't getting any older. And Westbrook is still signed under contract, but Harden and Paul George are both going to be free agents this offseason. And the Clippers have yet been able to get an extension offer to Paul George, so we don't know what they can do with him. The highest that they can offer him is, I believe, $220 million for 5 years, I believe. Is it really worth giving a player that much money as he gets older in his game? I mean, it's been done already, but is it really truly worth it? Not only that, but consider the fact as well with James Harden, because James Harden played really well for this Clippers team, especially in the playoffs this year. Yes, actually, James Harden played pretty well, except in that elimination game. He played pretty bad. But overall, he was a great addition, and he was exactly what they were missing on this team beforehand. But this all kind of leads to the point where the Clippers, I feel like, have no other choice but to possibly bring back all of these guys because, well, they're going to be playing in that brand new arena that they're getting. And man, when I tell you this arena is nice, it is one of the best arenas that's going to be in all of sports. They have the best basketball arena in all of the NBA coming in next season. This arena has many cool features in it. They even have charging stations at each seat. They have like all these cool different features in the arena as far as technology goes. Even the Jumbotron, man, that Jumbotron is going to be the biggest Jumbotron like ever. I think that costs a lot of money as well to build. Like, they just have so many different things in this arena that's going to make it really unique and stand out from the other ones. And you're going to naturally want to have a good first year. And that's what the Clippers are probably going to want to do, man. They're going to want to keep all these guys. They've already invested so much money, yet alone with these guys. Kawhi Leonard's contract is going to be paying him $50 million each and every single year. And lucky enough, they have one of the richest men in the world as their owner. Steve Ballmer is worth well over hundreds of billions of dollars, who's willing to pay these players this money. The Clippers have already stated time after time that they are invested in building around these core guys and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. But really, when will you kind of start seeing for reality for really what it is? Because these guys have already created this narrative and reputation now of being injury-prone players each and every single year, man. It's always injuries. Kawhi Leonard in the past was never known as a player that will be constantly in and out, but each and every single year now, especially for him too, he's just not really been the same. It's always injuries. It's always something happening coming up that's really just derailing him, unfortunately. I know that Kawhi Leonard, man, he's great. He's going to finish his career as one of the best players really to play this game. But during this run with the Clippers, this was supposed to be something special. You know, when these guys came together, having a duo like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard was something that was different from the other duos with Anthony Davis and LeBron and KD and Kyrie during that time when those guys teamed up together. These were two ball stoppers, man. They were some of the best defenders at the positions and all that, but they're versatile wings who can guard multiple positions, who can do many things on the basketball court. And it was supposed to be seen as something that was going to really help them become one of the best teams, if not the favorite team. Each and every year, that first year especially, they were considered the favorites to win the NBA championship. But each and every single year since then, they have slowly gone down and down and down when it comes to being considered the best team to win it all. So, you know, looking at Paul George, you know, if I'm him, I'm honestly looking to possibly leave the Clippers because, you know, this trend is going to still continue. You know, it's shown already these last few years. Sure, you may get lucky and have one year where none of you guys get hurt and just hope for the best that it will work out. But he can go to a team like the Magic, who have a lot more money to offer him, joining up with that young core of players and actually being the player that he is. He fits right into what they're doing. He will be one of the best fits, in my opinion, to go there. But then that also leaves Kawhi Leonard pretty much by himself on that Clippers team. And what they can possibly do is make a trade and try to get as many assets as possible because they don't even have their own draft pick until 2030. So you got to think, man, these guys, they sacrifice pretty much their entire future to build this team. In that Paul George deal, they traded the Thunder 5 picks, which is just insane. But getting a player at the time like a Paul George, you have to do trades like that. But look at the Thunder now. In that trade, they traded away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in exchange as well for Paul George. And look at the player that Shai has become. Imagine him still on this Clippers team with Kawhi Leonard. We didn't know his potential at the time. We know he was a great player, but we didn't know that he would turn out to be this player that he is now. But just imagine that. So looking now for the Clippers, they find themselves in a very sticky situation. Everybody's saying, the media especially, that they should just blow this up. but it's not really that easy. It's not that easy when you have players that are on the caliber of a Kawhi and a Paul George, and even so Harden, who's actually shown glimpses of still of being a great player, and a Westbrook who's contributed heavily on this team. That's hard to just throw all that away. So the Clippers coming into this next season, I wouldn't be surprised if they still have the same team and they still offer Paul George money that he does once. And on top of that, all you can really do is just swing for the fences and hope that nobody actually gets hurt on this team and that they can stay healthy, because we have never truly seen this team healthy and at their full strength to see what they could actually do. That's going to end up being one of the biggest what ifs if somebody gets hurt again one more time. That's going to end up being one of the biggest what ifs of all time. And the Clippers, well, as of right now, that curse is still full in effect, and it's continuing to still brew. I hope you guys enjoyed this brief video today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every single week. Have a great day. Peace.